We had a landscaping client earn $4.5 million in annual recurring revenue, a 30% market share, and a 3,000% ROI, all from knocking on doors. Let me explain how. Okay, so as I alluded to there, we had a landscaping client this year who really generated a substantial amount of new recurring revenue for the year. And they used kind of an interesting strategy that we helped them with in terms of execution of door knocking, referrals, and then a little bit of email sprinkled in to kind of bring it all together. So I want to explain how they went through it, the steps that it took, because I think it's very applicable for this audience. So number one, they narrowed their offering down to one thing. So while a lot of other landscaping companies may compete on maintenance or hard and landscape, our clients offers only weed control plus some fertilizer. So similar to if you follow people like at Sweaty Startup on Twitter or at Sully Business, these folks they have very specific niches. So Sweaty Startup, Nick Huber, he's talking about college moving, college dorm moving. He's talking about personal storage facilities, right? Like very, very verticalized niches. Same thing with Sully. He's doing cleaning of office spaces, and they only do a handful of things within that. That worked in this case with our landscaping customer of keeping the niche very small with weed control and fertilizer. Secondly, they made sure their messaging is clear. So they had this very condensed offering in hand, and then we borrowed from the USP formula. I've talked about this before, but it's the unique selling proposition formula. You can Google it to make their messaging very easy. We've discussed this before, but it's essentially breaking down who it is you're serving, what it is you're helping them achieve, and how specifically your service or offering is helping them achieve that. The third thing they did really well was give all of their employees, regardless of role, incentives to sell. So every employee, whether they're in sales, whether they're in customer service, they're a application expert, somebody actually out doing the work, has incentives to sell. So the sales team obviously, they get commission on their sales, but also the maintenance people have reasons to leave extra door hangers with a little QR code on them that identifies, who left that QR code. We know that on the back end. So when those QR codes get scanned and people come through as leads, that gets attributed to the maintenance person and they get a commission on that. Customer service reps as well are able to upsell when people call in new treatments for new treatments or property maintenance. The accounting team, if they talk to somebody, like everyone in the business can earn extra money by selling the service, selling the product, and that incentivizes the entire company, the entire team to have that on the front of their mind. It's worked for them. The fourth thing is to leverage low-cost channels to spread word of mouth. Now, when I say low cost, I'm talking very low cost. At times, this last year, they were spending as little as $10,000 a month on all of their advertising campaigns, which, when you talk about the span of it, it's an entire region, entire half of a state essentially that they were covering. And the two that they found the most success with were, number one, knocking on doors. So just literally hiring college students for $15 an hour who, a lot of times these students want to have a longer term career with the company. But every new person at the company starts in door knocking. And I think this is interesting for a number of reasons. Number one, it's great for culture. But number two, it really establishes a baseline of leads that you can expect as a marketer and as a salesperson, because it's just a math game at that point, right? We're going to knock on X amount of doors. We're going to be able to get so many leads, and hopefully a few of those or a percentage of those will convert. Additionally, they use digital referrals primarily through email, and we're able to we borrowed some strategies that we learned from the likes of the Morning Brew, the Hustle, Sam Parr. If you follow any of those folks, if you don't, you should go check out their work. But you're able to build a referral program primarily through email that incentivizes people to share their email and get others to subscribe so that they can earn, whether it be swag or discounts on service or a number of different incentives. And that really worked. So it was kind of like a push and pull mechanism where you're pushing out all of these different college students and younger people to actually do the groundwork, so to speak. And at the same time, you've got this longer term drip campaign happening where you're incentivizing new email subscribers who are getting similar messaging and a lot of the same opt-in in terms of it's like a referral because they're being referred by a customer or someone who is a current subscriber and brought it into the fold that way. So it's easy. You trade a $5 mug or a $45 hoodie or a whatever for a $2,000 plus prospect all day long. You make that trade all day long. And so that became easy math for us. And then the last point I'll say is they made subscribing to their service very, very easy. Their online app is tied to Stripe. And so you can really quickly and easily sign up for monthly service. You don't need to have a phone call with anyone if you don't want to. You don't need to have any in-person estimates. Those are my favorite, where they send someone out strictly to try to upsell you. That does not happen in this scenario. It's just as simple as going online, following the referral link, and signing up. So that is how our customer was able, and a lot of hard work. Let's be honest. It wasn't an easy process. I'm not trying to make it something it wasn't, but I think a lot of times we as marketers, we think, oh, I don't have the money that someone else had. And I'll just say this particular company did not have the budget that the national players in the market have, but they outperformed all of them because of the method, the way that they were using it smartly, and then using some of these tools in order to create a referral system and incentivize their own internal employees to sell on their behalf. Hopefully this sparks some ideas for you. It's helpful, and we will see you tomorrow.